Good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of A Tale of Blood and Long Roads, a Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Uh, we got held up a little bit there for a little bit of discussion about some rules stuff. And, we've got some new players, we've got some old players, and of course, we're gamers, so we got to talk a minute about like rolling dice. So, of course, though, um, just to handle a little bit of channel business real quick, next week we're gonna have something. There's some talk about maybe playing some Eat the Reich, which is related to this in some ways because it's a game about a group of vampires killing Nazis. So we may run that, we may not. We may run something else. We'll figure it out. And then in 2 weeks we'll be back to this again and continuing the adventure. When we last left off, our merry band of vampires had just acquired themselves a little hotel and bar and grill. I don't dare call it a bed and breakfast. It is not that kind of place. But I believe in doing that, one of our vampires has gotten quite a bit hungry. And so, just as a little bit of housekeeping, I think before you all turn in for the night and we go to the next night, I think we'd like to see maybe how Gavin chooses to feed. So how would Gavin feed?
Yes, because Gavin has to avoid doing the big mad. Um, so Gavin, his predator type is um trapdoor, so that basically means he like kind of lures people to his haven. And because Gavin is a Ravnos, he cannot stay in one place for a time. So his haven is his RV that he has, so he can always be on the move. And when he stops in places, he uses the Fate Morgana to kind of set up in a little bit of Fate Morgana, a little bit of like actual like what he has in his RV to set up like almost like a mini like think about like if you're at like a carnival. It's not obviously not like it's not like Foxwoods or whatever. That's the first casino that came to mind because that's what we have out here. It's something you might see at a traveling like carnival, like set up, like play a game of poker, play some dice or whatever, win some prizes. And he sets that up, and without fail, there are always local, gamblers, even people that might be a little bit interested, curious of what's going on, that come up and, play play some cards, play some dice, and he uses that to his advantage. He uses his presence to kind of up the ante a little bit, and one thing leads to another, and that eventually kind of leads to him feeding on those who come to him.
Okay. So, kind of getting towards the end of the night. In this particular case, what would Gavin like to do to slake his hunger?
Um, so I think like if he, goes back to his RV and probably because like he doesn't have a lot of like time, he wasn't really expecting to like be at this like level hunger. He probably sets up something like very simple, like low high card, best out of whatever. And I would say that he I don't want to say like because like he's not going to be like, oh, if you lose, I get to like drink from you. But I think he's gonna probably um like convince them that he can like maybe do something to them. But is very like vague about it.
Yeah,
Like would that work?
you really just have to get close enough to bite them, and
Yeah.
once you're in, they're yours.
Yeah, so I think like that, like full disclosure, it's been a while since I looked at my predator type. I do need to like review it again. But yeah, I think like it would be something like they will be like playing and like maybe when he like leans over to like pick up a card or like after the game he might go around to like, give them a like, good game shake, and that's when he would like pull them in and drink from them.
So where do you set this up? Do you just set it up kind of by the side of the road?
I'm trying to remember where he left the because he took the RV to the place. So I don't think we established was there like a parking area, or do you think he just kind of like parked it to the side?
Yeah, there's a parking area, so you probably, a hotel like this has space
Yeah.
for an RV, so you could park there.
Yeah, I think he probably just sets it up in the I think like in an area like this, like someone running like a gambling thing out of an RV wouldn't be like the weirdest thing in the world to see. So he probably just like, sets it up there. Maybe people walk into their cars, stop by or something.
Okay. Um, yeah, we could say that. Yeah, if you've got a setup with some lights and such on it, that a random a random biker might come by, not from the biker gang, but just a random biker kind of comes
Sure.
by and you know was maybe checking out to see if Pouncey's was still open. It doesn't look open, but they stop by your RV and they're kind of checking things out. Um, you pull them in probably with the card game, and then from there, kind of what's your play?
Um,
I guess mechanically, it's kind of like what's your role?
oh, what's it?
And this doesn't
Okay,
have to be
look,
like a physical role.
oh, what's my physical?
Well, this doesn't have to
Not
be a
what's my actual,
yeah. Like
because
what are you using to get them close enough to you to where you can? And then, like I said, it doesn't have to be a physical role. You can just convince them.
yeah, I mean, like, I think probably, maybe like charisma with like presence.
Okay. Um, and actually, do you have awe?
I do have awe. So yeah, when I say presence,
I think you mean
sorry, I meant
persuasion.
awe. Do I mean persuasion? What did
So
I
if you're
say?
going to do a roll for defeating, you're using an attribute and a skill. Presence is a discipline. And
Yes.
also, if
Okay.
you're going to use a
See,
discipline, you might end up rousing again and getting hungrier.
yeah, that's a good point.
Which is
See,
why
I was told,
which is why I brought up all, because all will not rouse, but
okay,
it will grab their attention.
Yeah, you just
okay.
add your dots and presence to your persuasion roll.
Yeah.
So it's just extra dice for the roll.
See, I was told that the ST would tell me what to roll in this situation, so this is
Oh.
totally throwing me off.
Well, yeah, we're just kind of getting towards like what you
Um,
want to do. So it would be like a
yeah, so persuasion and charisma probably.
yeah, I'm thinking
Or manipulation, since lying, but the actual
Yeah,
trapdoor roll is charisma.
charisma.
yeah, you could do charisma and manipulation, and if you're using all, you can add your presence to that roll.
Okay.
And remember that you want to still put your 3 hunger dice into that.
Okay. So, all right, what am I doing again?
So you're like again, what was it? Charisma, persuasion.
Charisma, uh, persuasion.
And then you can add your, since you're using all, you can add your dice and presence to that as well, to the pool.
Okay. And then dice.
And then 3 of the dice are hunger dice.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to find where my. Okay, so 2. The dice and present would just be the number of dots I have in that, correct?
That's correct.
And then 3 hunger. Nope. All right. My hands are too small for all this dice. All right. It's 6 or above succeeds. A 3 success, 1 being a 10.
And just one of them is a 10?
Yep.
Okay.
All regular dice, no hunger.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so you can lure him in and have a bite.
Nom 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 nom.
So how much hunger do you want to slake?
So question, I know I have the herd advantage, which I can use that to go down 1 hunger, correct?
You could.
So could I, for the feeding, could I go down 2 and then do my last one with my herd?
In this case, no, because when you you can only basically take yourself down to hunger 1 without killing somebody.
Okay.
Like you have to kill somebody to go to hunger 0. Otherwise, you're just always at hunger 1. So, but you can take 2 hunger from this person without killing them.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do, because I'm at 3 hunger, so I'll take 2 and be at 1.
Okay. And he'll be fine. He's gonna need a nap. So, okay. So you go down to hunger 1.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe you could probably just set him somewhere so he looks like he's just had a rough night, and
That's, yeah, probably what Gavin would do. Maybe like lean him against some random pickup truck or car in the parking lot.
okay. All right. Simple enough. Okay. Crisis averted. And with that, I think the next question is, do any of you want to do anything else before you turn in for the evening?
I would like to inventory the drugs.
They took the drugs.
They took the drugs?
They took the drugs.
Yeah, they were all taken when they left.
But I did stash some. Like, I took some too.
Okay, yeah.
But not all of them.
That's correct. You took some, but yeah. Well, I mean, what did you take?
What did you take?
What did I take? I took probably like some weed, a bag of pills. Definitely a bag of pills.
Okay.
Maybe some acid. They had acid.
Probably oddly enough, they didn't have that. They mostly had coke, pharmaceuticals, and weed.
Okay.
It's important that I accurately keep track of the amount of drugs they had and what drugs they had.
Yes.
In this drug-fueled chronicle. So, okay, so that's what they have, and probably more importantly, I should ask, is there anything that you do, to prepare for the evening? Like you're basically all going to sleep. Gavin will probably be fine. Gavin's set up, but do any of you? How do you prepare to go to sleep in an unfamiliar place?
I get away from everybody. I we still had rooms at the hotel.
You have rooms at the hotel.
Yeah. I go and stay at the hotel. I have like my purse, some blackout, like something just like block the light from the
Okay.
window, any windows. I sleep in the bathroom.
Good. I'm glad you thought of that.
Ah.
Okay.
It's bathroom, bathtub, stuffed towels under the door so
Yeah.
the light doesn't creep through underneath.
Yeah.
Classic vampire stuff.
I'm glad. I'm glad that we thought of that. Not just
Sta-
like... And
Standard
the next
used
morning,
to-
the chronicle ends. Thank you. We've had a great time. Someone forgot to close the window, and that was that.
Standard is used to traveling and making do, so he's got the back of his truck set up in a way that it is closed and lockable from the inside. So he's essentially in the truck bed, buried up under stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
And prepared. He also doesn't know these people well enough and doesn't feel like sharing a small motel bathroom with them for the evening. So
Yeah, I kind of figured that Standard and Gavin kind of have their setups. They're both traveling kindred, so they're good to go. But so everybody else kind of getting set up like that is probably all you have time to do for the evening, before the sleep of dawn starts to take you. And that will bring us to dusk and then the next evening. So as we begin the next evening, you rouse from your slumber. Everybody does a rouse check to wake up in the morning, in the evening morning.
That's just rolling one dice,
That's
right?
just rolling one die.
8.
All right. So if
It
you
would have showed me actual numbers. It's one success.
one success. So as long as you succeed, you remain at hunger 1. If you fail, you go up a hunger.
I failed.
Okay. So basically you're all at hunger 1 except for Charlotte, who is now at hunger 2.
All right.
So everybody's up at the beginning of a new night. You have a new bar and grill. What do we do?
Ooh. Should we open for business?
No. With what staff?
Oh, right. People might actually want drinks.
Yeah.
you guys mentioned that you found some weird blood magic-y stuff in the office, right?
Not found weird blood magic
But
stuff.
like the
found
aura of
remnant
it. Yeah, the
of
remnant of it.
weird blood magic-y stuff.
'Cause-
Yeah.
Because that worries me some. If the only other kindred in town is our friend the Nos, they're not normally ones doing the finger wiggling and the magic stuff. So what was here? And do we have to worry about someone else coming looking for it? I mean, we're kind of on the run from a Tremere at the moment. Anyway, I don't want to annoy other Tremere.
That is a valid point. There's something about an antique shop that they had ran through before they got here, or
Yeah.
during, or
Might
something.
be worth looking into just to make sure
And-
we're not gaining enemies we don't know about.
So that's
Yeah,
that's
that's-
correct. As a just as a storyteller reminder, you had been told, I believe by Cliff, that the motorcycle gang had intimidated the antique mall. Then that's sort of his way of telling you these guys are nothing. But also, that's a strange connection.
Yeah, why are bikers going to an antique mall
Yeah.
to scare people? Let's find that out.
Normally that would be just weird, but now it's really weird since you've you basically have the presence of blood magic in the basement.
Yeah.
So
Like if they're holding up the antique mall to get fast money to continue with the normal things that the biker gang is doing, that makes sense. But the random blood magic with a group of mortal bikers is weird. And if we're gonna set up shop here, I'd like to know who's gonna come looking.
So at this moment, like Gavin has like still been in his RV and he kind of just like comes through the door. So normally I would walk in and, ask for a double shot of whiskey, but kind of can't unless anyone never mind. I already had something to eat. So what's going on? What's the deal? I don't even fully understand what's going on. I just somehow know that I won this bar, which is apparently also a grill. I didn't know that. So what someone want to fill me in on what else happened last night and what our plan is? Not all at once.
I mean, how much do you remember? Were you drunk? I don't think you were drunk.
No, because I didn't feed until a few hours ago. But
Oh, were you just distracted?
just when I get into the games and the cards and stuff like that, I get very, very like into it. So I know Eden, you and Charlotte were doing something standard. I'm not sure where you were. But yeah, I was like very into what I was doing. I heard something about an antique shop or something like that, some stuff in the basement.
Yeah, so found out that most of their stash was in the basement. Wanted to try to get into the basement. Ended up convincing a guy to sell me some cocaine. He never actually got me that because knocked him out when we went downstairs. Um, they had their whole supply down there. They had guns down there, which they all took with them, as you saw when like you won the bar. They emptied everything out. But there was an office in the back, and the desk drawer was open and there was nothing in there, but it was giving off, I cannot give a better word than vibes of weird shit. Charlotte determined that it was blood magic or like latent aura of there was something in there just kind of like leaking. And obviously not there anymore. And now we have the issue of
Leaking?
we just got kicked out of a city that had a Tremere that took over and blood magic item. Let's not have those things mesh.
So you think like there's more like Tremere here doing shit?
If that thing that Nosferatu was the only thing that was in this city, as he claims, and we have this weird blood magic thing here. Maybe there could be another Tremere. That could be the Hurt clan. I forgot what they're called. Charlotte, your clan.
I don't know.
You know what your clan is?
My clan?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was spacing out. Banu Hakim.
That.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be our magic, but I don't know.
Yeah, trying to figure out like what other possibilities there are for vampires who can make weird magic vibes.
There's quite a few of them that do the weird hoodoo stuff, but it's more. We just met Cliff, and he seemed incredibly forthcoming with information for a Nos, and they don't normally seem that, so I'm guessing there's more here to tell. So I figure if we at least go give the antique mall a look, see if we get any more of those vibes. So we don't want anyone knocking on the door looking for something that we don't have anymore.
Yeah.
True.
do we like I don't know if like this even matters, but like do we know what Cliff took? He seemed like very adamant about like getting his stuff, and it seemed like it was more than just, his clothes or whatnot. Do we know what he wanted?
You guys
He-
made him open the footlocker.
Yeah, he
Through
brought
Yeah, it
up
was
his footlocker and
stuff.
showed us what's in it.
Yeah, it was just stuff.
Huh. All right.
I mean, we all have our attachments. Maybe Cliff just likes his socks.
Fair.
So we should probably go antiquing earlier than later because I'm sure they close.
Oh yeah,
But
almost
not already
certainly they're
closed.
closed. Almost
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah, I could tell you right now the antique mall is closed, but I don't know if that
This-
deters you.
This seems
Yeah,
like one of
let's
those
go
towns
anyway.
that kind of rolls up the sidewalks after a certain hour. It seems, right?
Yeah. Why don't we just go?
Mhm.
We'll just go. We'll sneak in a window.
I mean, we already know the cops are not terribly effective here, so not too worried about them.
It might be kind of tasty.
Bring money to bribe. That's what
Yes.
I learned.
Money to bribe.
Check the cash register upstairs. Make sure they didn't clean us completely out.
Goes immediately.
Yeah, there's
You
some
take the money?
cash in there.
Oh, good.
Not a lot. I mean, these bikers were skimming the place, so it's like the equivalent of like resources one, but it's enough to keep the place running.
It's some petty cash.
Yeah.
So
if you did choose to open Pouncy's back up for business, you would have enough to get it going.
I mean, I could probably unload this some of the stuff that I picked up. Give us a little extra cash.
What'd you pick up?
Weed, some pills.
Yeah, sure. Something important.
I mean, it'll be money.
you have more reason to take a look around town, see what kind of people are here. We already know that there's some version of the mafia that's also here. You don't want try not to attract too much attention at this point.
Or get all the attention and link up with them.
Yeah, we want to know who we are attracting attention of.
Make friends.
Well, I've got some contacts.
That's good. I don't.
Yeah.
Huh.
I know some folks who do some deals.
Let's go check out a antique mall, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know any antique dealers. Unless they're
You're about to find out. You might have a business card there.
Yeah, I'd say, just for reference, the antique mall from where you are, and this will kind of be a theme of this chronicle, obviously, is that the antique mall from where you are is probably 20 or 30 minutes. But so there's a little bit of a drive. So,
Sure.
And I will say though also that Cliff has probably given you his phone number if you do need to contact him for anything. Because he
That's nice of
has
him.
promised you that he does owe you.
Yeah, I think he gave us his number, and he knew to reach us at Pouncy's because it was the
Yeah.
landline there.
So if he needs
Cool.
you, he can find you. If you need him for whatever. But so just making sure that information is out there before you proceed. If you wanted to.
Do we need him now?
No, I don't think so.
Not right this second.
No.
Do you
Let's
even
go to the
trust
mall.
him yet? It's that's your beast.
We're not sure we
Trust
trust
is
each
a-
other yet.
Yeah.
Trust is a big word. It No.
Okay.
Quick question, because it got brought up before. So, I know when Gavin was playing like poker and stuff, he like won a bunch of games. Do we have like an actual like amount that he I would take it that he has extra money now. Like, is there an amount that you want to like give him? Because we never really determined that, and it might come in handy to have money.
Yeah, so cash, I think it's not a small amount. It's about $3,000.
Sweet.
Because if you recall, I think they made you buy in at like 1,000. So
No, they made me buy in at 1,000.
that's right.
Gavin, I
So,
think,
yeah,
bought
close.
in at 500.
He did, yeah.
true.
So
Yeah.
okay, he has about 3,000, which he definitely keeps in a wallet or probably like one of those money clips. Because I don't think you can put $3,000 in a wallet.
Kind of imagine Gavin knows enough about people who do, pickpocketing stuff. You have it split up over multiple places on you.
Yeah, he has probably some in like a regular, old brown leather wallet, and then some in like a money clip thing.
Well, it looks
Yeah.
like you're Daddy Warbucks now. Let's go to the
Right.
mall.
Let's go to the mall,
Hey.
everybody.
Place like this, cash is gold. So, all right. Does anyone? I'll leave it to you to figure out who's riding with who or how you're getting there. But is there anything anyone wants to do before or on the ride?
No, but like, hey, do one of you mind if I ride with you? Like, it can be awkward to park this thing sometimes, and I'd rather not have to drive it again. Anyone got space? Sweet.
I have
So
a
Gavin will.
bike. Could ride on back of my motorcycle.
Hey, yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
All right.
I was mailed by standard, so I'm going with standard.
I have not completed that delivery officially yet, so I
Yes.
guess you're still with me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll follow you.
Do you have any idea where we're going? Like, we have like a rough idea of where this area is.
Yeah.
Well,
You would have a rough idea because actually, like it's in the previous evening when you went into the lobby, in one of those places that every kind of like terrible motel has, they had one of those things that has all the cards that have the different like locations of
all the little brochures. Yeah.
And so one
Oh
of
yeah,
the
Standard picked up like one of each of those and
Yeah.
has them in the truck somewhere.
so there's not that many of them for Tylersville, but one of them is for this antique mall. So it's not hard to find. You would know where it is. It's kind of like you would basically go through the main street of town and go a little bit north.
It's also 2024, and we have GPS.
You could GPS
You
it as
you
well.
do. You do.
Yeah.
Standard
Look.
has like a Nokia brick.
Ew. Need to fix that.
Gavin has nothing.
You could
Gavin does not carry a phone.
you could
Standard
find
has like a box of shitty Nokia phones that he just buys and then every couple of days breaks it in half, throws it in the river, and starts a new one.
I shouldn't say nothing. Like Gavin has used burner phones before. I don't think he has one right now.
Charlotte has a pager. Straight up 1990 pager.
Nice.
He
Awesome.
does not know this life at all. Like what?
Oh
Why?
yeah. No, you're very like cash only page. We are turns out 90s drug dealers and vampires have a lot of the same business practices.
Mm-hmm.
Payphones, pagers, lots of cash.
What works?
Charlotte
what
returned
works,
to the
works.
States in the 90s, so.
So many
Yeah.
questions later.
So okay. With that, yeah, you can proceed to the antique mall. If there's nothing else that you want to happen on the way, we can shift the scene to there.
Does the antique mall have a name?
The Tylersville Antique Mall.
Original.
Yeah.
Simple.
So creative.
I like it.
I mean, think you'll find that many of the places in this small town of Tylersville are the Tylersville name of place.
Unless it's the Tuttles.
But
Yeah.
so after a little bit of a drive, you kind of pull up to the Antique Mall's parking lot, which is actually a fairly large parking lot. And surrounding the Antique Mall from the outside, you can see one of these big kind of chain link fences that's tall with barbed wire around the top of it, basically to keep people out at night, which it is right now. And inside the chain link fence is a line of like stalls. What would be stalls? There's nothing in the stalls right now. This would be probably where you would hold like your typical kind of flea market stuff. You can see space for where you would have food trucks and some kind of like permanent restaurant space as well. And when I say restaurant, I mean like your kind of greasy spoon, hot dog, hamburger kind of stuff. And then towards the back of all that, you can see what would be the building of, you know, the entrance to what would be the actual antique mall itself. And so that is what you are presented with when you pull up. And this place probably, to be fair, this place probably shut down at like 4 o'clock this afternoon. So it just doesn't stay open.
Is there like an alleyway or like a service thing behind the building to pull in, just so we're like not parking cars in the very clearly closed parking lot?
Yeah, you could pull around the back. There would be a back entrance for sure. You know, because that would be where the vendors would load in stuff, probably, instead of, they wouldn't want to go all the way through the front.
Okay, probably pull around that way. And then tell Otis to watch the cars.
Okay, so if you pull around the back, there's basically a single set of double doors, and there is, you know, space in the back for, you know, you could park like a truck or two back there. So there's plenty of room for you to park. There's like a single light that's on back there, one of these old kind of like spooky bulbs that hasn't been changed in years, so it kind of flickers on and off. And yeah, you just see this single set of double doors that are they're locked.
Who's good at lockpicking? Or breaking into buildings undetected?
I could probably break into a building undetected. Let me see.
Any indication of a security system?
Yeah,
or
is there any
camera?
cameras?
You don't see a camera out here.
Okay. Well,
No, because lockpicking would be larceny, right?
Yeah, if you're just gonna break in.
I don't got anything.
I suppose the other kind of choices you could think about is just ripping the doors off with potence, but I don't think anybody has that. So
I think we're quite at that level
No.
of
Not yet.
I've done a little bit of the breaking in, so I've got a little bit of skill in there. I don't mind trying it. I don't imagine the lock is terribly great.
let's see.
Eden sits pretty, making absolutely no effort. Just waiting for y'all, because this is not at all what she's gonna do.
so this would be like a dex larceny check. Fortunately,
I don't have larceny.
Fortunately, the Tylersville Antique Mall is not a bastion of security.
I think that means that I'm going to try and make that roll because I'm the only person with larceny, I think is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
I am going to blood surge, though, to try and make this roll a little better. Cool, we're getting hungrier.
Mhm.
So I'll be at hunger 2 after the roll, which is nice, but just give me just a couple more dice for the roll. So is that Dex larceny, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is 3 successes.
Okay, that is.
Hopefully that's
Please.
enough.
That is enough. I was looking for 3.
Good, because that 1 on the blood die was going to be bad if it wasn't.
So, yeah, I would say that you probably look at the lock for a second. You kind of see that it's one of those things that you might be able to take like a piece of wood or a stick and kind of force your way in and pry the like the latch on the door, like it's like a fire door, kind of one of those things, and kind of pry the latch on it a little bit. My door terminology is not great right now.
It's like a push bar, so
Yeah.
I can put something in and pull back against it. Yeah.
And so, fortunately, it's not chained from the other side or anything like that, or anything of that nature. So it pops open. No alarms go off. And inside, the lights are off, but you can see what looks to be a fairly typical antique mall with linoleum yellowed floors. And these different sort of glass-fronted antique shops. Some of them carrying things like lamps. Some of them carrying like old pottery. It's a little hard to see in here because it's dark. You could try to find the lights and turn them on if that's something you wanted to do.
Well, for everyone who's watching, Standard's eyes will just click to that glowing red as he will activate Eyes of the Beast so he can see.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets the full, like, glowing red eyes. But hey, we'll kind of wave to other people about, I don't know anything about the blood source stuff, so we're in if you guys want to give it a look.
Yeah.
Did anybody bring
Well.
like a flashlight?
What about a cell phone flashlight?
Okay. It's 2024.
I don't
Yes.
have one on my pager.
I guess this is what I'm doing today.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. That works perfectly fine. Yeah. So yeah, most of these stores don't catch much interest, but there is one kind of in the middle that looks like it's selling some kind of gothic stuff. And normally, I would say that wouldn't be much of a hunch, but in this case, maybe that means something.
I have auspex. Can I use my heightened senses?
If you turn on heightened senses, you can just see.
All right. Ding.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
So, the only thing I would say with heightened senses is just to keep in mind that, if someone, like, shoots at you or something, like, it's gonna hurt. Like, your ears. But
Also,
yeah, so you, but
flashlight
if you heighten,
facing your eyeball.
yeah, don't look directly
Don't
at the
do that.
flashlight or you're gonna have a bad evening. So yeah, but you're able to see pretty clearly now in the ambient light, and hear. So there'll be all kinds of things that if somebody approaches, you'll hear them coming.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, there are these stores. Again, if you're looking for something supernatural, that's where you want to use it. The Auspex power that looks for supernatural stuff is called Sense the Unseen.
Okay.
I was just about to ask about that because guess who has that?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
All right.
What do you
The
guys'
storyteller
special
makes
eye
a hidden
elf
role.
sees?
Yeah. So Yeah, if you use Sense the Unseen, you get the vibe from the goth store. Like that same kind of like resonant. Like
So, like, when you say goth store, are we talking like Hot Topic in the 90s goth store, or like much, much older, like goths invading type of stuff? Like, what are we talking when we say goth store?
it's a little bit more. It's a little bit less like Hot Topic and a little bit more like. I'm trying to make the perfect analogy in my head here, which is like I don't know if you go to some of these like tourist towns and you find like a kind of a goth store where they have like
So
uh
Salem, basically, a
yeah
store you would find in Salem.
yeah
Okay,
So in
yep,
a
I
cult
gotcha.
store.
or like
Yes, in a cult
the
store.
pirate store in St. Augustine but goth.
Okay, yep, I gotcha.
Usually like a mix of like a bunch of random crystals and some leftover Party City skulls and outfit type stuff, and then randomly some old things that you're like, I don't know where this is from.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go up to
Like,
this store, um there's a door to it. Again, this is sort of a glass fronted thing, but there would be a door that normally during opening hours, like it would be open. It's closed right now, and it is locked. So if you want to go in there, you would have to break into it again. And if you, but from out here, all you can get is kind of just like the heebie-jeebie vibes.
So Charlotte would be familiar with Eden doing the weird
mm-hmm.
this, that, there.
What you see?
I don't see anything. It's just the weird is there. And
Oh.
it's loud.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because I made it loud, but it's loud. But it's also closed. So standard. Darling,
Yeah.
could
Break
you
us in.
please?
Sure. Yeah, does this door look like it's gonna be like, they look like there's not one of those little plaques like protected by security system or anything like that randomly
It's
tacked up in the
yes.
window?
No, this looks more like a key lock.
Oh.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Do you have picks?
I don't have picks.
Do I have hair
Yeah,
supplies?
do you have hair supplies? That could.
Most likely.
Yeah, I mean, if not, I can run back out to the truck. I'm sure he's got, something that'll work there.
Can absolutely get you a bobby pin.
Yeah, if the lock doesn't look terribly sophisticated, it's even just like claws to use it. But I think between the two, either hair supplies here or back in the truck in the toolbox, find something to try and use.
So try bobby pin first, since we're here.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a pen. Will a pen work? I mean,
Not really, but
okay.
try it. Is this Dex and Larceny again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I did not know this was going to be the roll I was going to make the most often. That is 3 successes again.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough. These are not sophisticated locks.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not robbing places with money.
Yeah, if this
Just
was like
staring at
if
doors.
this was like an alarm system that you were trying to get past, I'd be looking for like 4 or 5. But this is an old shoddy lock. Yeah, it pops, and you can enter the store.
Is it, and would you say the lock is antique?
Oh, yes.
I'll be here all night, or at least until 11.
It's quite an antiquated security system, unfortunately. Yeah.
Player is over here taking willpower damage, but we'll be okay.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We've had a lot of fun. And we have to call it while we're ahead. Anyway, yeah,
Step over.
if now you can enter the shop, and when you go in, it's a curious collection of things, both some of it interesting, and some of it absolute trash. So you see, there's like a, trying to describe it, there's like a counter that has all kinds of colorful rocks in it. There's like a rack with all these kind of like different like velvet gothic clothing and things like that. There appears to be on a shelf some dragon skulls. There's also in another counter, there's some bone jewelry of various types, which you can't tell. Some of it may be made from animal bone, some of it may be made from human bone. It's a little hard to tell from this distance if it's real bone or not. There's some skulls. Are they real or not? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. There are, on a back shelf, there are a bunch of knives, like fancy knives that look like they might be ritual-looking knives.
I want a knife. Can I take one?
Do
Not
they
yet.
look like useful knives, or do they look like mall ninja fancy knives?
Well, there's a little bit of column A and there's a little bit of column B. There are some,
Nice.
yeah, there's some, yeah, there's
Gotta love
definitely,
the dirt mall.
there's definitely some knives that look interesting, that actually have some quality to them, and those are the ones that have higher price tags on them. And there's definitely also, yeah, like your standard, like, I am a mall servant of Satan. And near those are also some various chalices, and the same kind of deal of that. Some of them look like they might actually have some value to them, maybe some valuable gemstones in them that look expensive. Some of them are also just plastic. There's various books. Some of the books actually look like they are antique books. Others look like they are, just some, books about the Salem witch trials, some popular literature. And there's also some various items and doohickeys that kind of look like some steampunk garbage. Some of it looks like it's, again, just some gears glued together. Some of it looks like it might be some real stuff that you don't know if it has value, but the price tags look like it might have some stuff on it.
100% been to this store before.
Yeah.
I was just
And that's what I was kind of hoping the vibe that you
Same.
all would get when I describe it.
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of stuff in here. So what do you kind of want to pick on or look at?
Vibes.
Vibes.
Also, to like, Eden goes, do me a favor, don't steal anything until we know what we have to steal first. And then we can use cover-up stealing and take random stuff. Don't just pocket stuff yet. Because we want like them to get so alerted.
There is a high chance of stealing from the store and just like I'm afraid that is not an authentic dragon skull.
But wouldn't this look cute on the counter of the bar?
Hey, Charlotte, like, I know this is an antique store, but is that a chance that that's someone that you know from your childhood? Because, like, isn't this all just regular modern stuff to you?
I mean, I don't think I know this person.
Well, let me ask.
I'm just
ask.
busting you.
Let me ask where you point your vibes.
Weapons, because it was the office had weapons in it, so we're gonna look at weapon stuff.
Okay, so
first.
you're looking over at the knives.
Knives.
Yeah, when you look over at the knives, you do get a vibe from one of them. That looks like a knife that it looks fairly old, and maybe like it's been used.
Like it's bloody?
No one cleaned it
Well, no, it looks clean.
or just pitted.
I will say this vampires, there's a way you could tell if it's had blood on it.
Take a big whiff in.
Yeah, there's been blood on it.
Oh,
Oh.
fantastic.
Being as blood predators, I was gonna say that this is a case where you could taste the science. You know. And so yeah, this knife, and it's just sort of a long, sharp, kind of curved. It's got like a red gemstone in the hilt of it. Knife.
Ian will take it up with 2 fingers and immediately towards Charlotte.
I like it. Well,
It has the weird.
what kind of vibe are you getting from it?
So the way my thing works is I don't get an exact no, it's just that is weird. So that's your job to find out why it's weird.
Well, why don't we sheath it back and I'll take it home and do some research.
Sure.
I was gonna say, does anybody have any? And then you could think about it later, but like, does anybody have any abilities that allow them to, detect things in blood?
What things
okay.
in blood?
Like detect the attributes of blood.
If you were to lick it, a taste of blood, maybe.
Not.
I have a taste for blood. I don't remember what that does though. What does that do?
Is your basic Tremere blood sorcery power. Lets you taste blood and get things like, did it come from a person or something else? What kind of resonance did it have? If you get enough successes, you get even more stuff about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I have a taste for blood.
And
what?
you don't spend for rouse, you just roll resolve plus blood sorcery.
Blood sorcery.
Yep.
Okay. So my resolve plus blood sorcery is.
And I apologize. I don't mean to like ruin surprises sometimes like this, but I know that not everybody's played a lot of V5, and so I don't want you to miss out on cool stuff you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I have to like go through my character sheet, and so where's my resolve? Okay. Oh, 5 dice.
I just have been playing a Tremere for a year now, so I'm real. He puts all kinds of weird shit in his mouth.
So, if I roll 5 dice and I use my hunger, what does my hunger do?
So if your dice pool is 5, 2 of those dice are hunger.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that doesn't mean that you roll 7 dice. It just means you roll 5 dice, and 2 of those dice in those pool are hunger.
Okay. So I have 3 successes. I have 1 success on the on my hunger dice, and it's got the little symbol with the extra fangs. I don't know if that's just that it means that it's a success on the hunger dice.
No, that would be that only matters if basically you get a critical, which you would need two of those. And if you got a critical and one of them is on your hunger die, that's called a messy critical, but you did not get a messy critical.
Okay, all right. Cool. So I have 3 successes total.
Okay. I just have to remind myself of the power.
So
I can read it out loud for the class.
Yes.
The user dabs their blood on the tongue and makes a resolve plus blood sorcery roll difficulty 3. With a win, the user can determine the resonance and intensity of the blood if human. They can also identify whether the blood belongs to a mortal, ghoul, vampire, or other supernatural creature. It may not necessarily be able to identify the supernatural creature if not kindred or ghoul. It's a weird sentence. Tasting Vitae also determines the relative blood potency and thus the likely generation band of the vampire. A critical win, which you don't have, so we won't go into that. If the user knows of a supernatural creature in question, they can identify the specific supernatural creature after tasting the blood.
Okay,
If
well,
you drank any werewolves lately or fairies.
So Charlotte like looks at it for a while and it gets a little dramatic about it and just like licks it and I was like,
well,
yeah.
well, guess what, Banu Hakim? That's kindred blood.
It's a lollipop.
She doesn't look that excited, but she's like,
So there is definitely some kind of kindred blood that has been on that knife.
I think I'm gonna keep this myself. Like kind of looks around, I was like, well,
Why? Are you lollipopping?
What's the deal with it?
it's blood.
Okay.
It's kindred blood.
Okay.
Just saying.
Would you
I'm gonna
like?
keep it.
At that, is there like a counter or a desk or like an office space? I figure out who owns this place, like this shop, because this now seems like someone we should figure out if they got now multiple things that deal with kindred stuff, and there's not supposed to be any other kindred here.
Yeah, there's a counter, and you can't. It doesn't tell you a whole lot about who's employed here, but you're able to tell from the books. Not to go through too much of this, but you're able to tell from the books that the store is owned by a person calling themselves Dr. Emily Davenport.
No business cards.
No business cards.
Emily Davenport?
Emily Davenport.
Maybe we should look her up in the yellow pages.
I mean, can't one of you also use your phone? Like, and do it that way?
I mean, if they're famous for any reason, but I don't think they're going to show up, proceeds to do so.
So you're just looking up.
To Google search Emily
Google-
Davenport.
Google
Is she
search the
famous
name.
at all? Or is she known in the community? Facebook profile? I don't know.
And I'm just looking for any mail that's in there.
Yeah, there's mail, but it's all associated with this business, and any references you find to Emily Davenport are pretty much just walk you back to here. You don't find like an address or phone number for this person. Well, I would say that if you see a phone number, it pretty much matches the phone number for this antique mall.
Do you think she lives in here?
I would hope not.
Well, let's just think if our new find has kindred blood on it, maybe she's out for the night.
You want to see if you can find a hidden little door to that they
It
might
would
be?
be hard to run the store during the day if they were kindred.
Unless she had somebody running it for her and she just
True.
happened to be here.
True.
I mean,
I mean, it's pretty secure. You're like under 2 layers of having to break through stuff.
Yeah, no, it
Mhm.
wouldn't be a
That
bad thing
sounds
to
weird.
be in. Wait, proven that it's not terribly difficult to get in, but should maybe also see if anything else has vibes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for more weird stuff. If you want to look for, I don't know, a hatch or whatever, hidden door, whatever that might hold another location, you can do that. I'm gonna run around.
Yeah, what does everybody want to look for?
More knives, more ritual items, blood.
Um, yeah, so you're just licking knives?
Just look all the knives.
I may lick
No,
another knife or
no.
two.
The other things that look like, I would say the other things that look like ritual items here are
Chalices.
the chalices.
Oh.
And just if you go over to them, just tell me how you think about investigating them. The other things I said is there are books, there are old looking books, there are skulls,
Bones, bone
bone
jewelry.
there's some colorful rocks, there's dragon skulls, there's clothing.
Standard is going to do something a little different, but he'll let them investigate. He's going to turn into a dog
Okay.
and try and get this person's scent between being bloodhound with the merit and turning into a dog. Figure if I can pick that up, I might be able to identify them later.
Okay.
Do we know that you can turn into a dog?
We know now.
I mean,
I
you
guess
haven't
so.
seen it before. He might know because they're clan, but like, he's gonna just do something, and then there's a large, actually probably more of a wolf than a dog, just there. Because he doesn't have the power to change his mass. So it's a dog that's the same size as him. So this is 150, 200 pound dog that is now in the space with you.
It wouldn't be super weird to you. You know,
Okay.
It's a known vampire thing. He is a gangrel. It's
Yeah.
pretty standard. You just haven't seen
Okay.
him do it. And to suddenly be in a room with a very large dog is maybe upsetting or
Don't
interesting.
knock anything over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's
I want to know
Um,
more about this. This is I that's a really nice thing that you do. I like that.
good boy.
No,
Question.
no,
So
no.
I have stealth traps. Does that mean like traps I set, or I can detect traps?
I think that would be you like bypassing traps. So
So
if you're
could
trying to
like
sneak by
maybe
something, like I would probably put that like, yeah, if you were trying to sneak by a security system, or like somebody's got like a tripwire or something, you would get like a bonus die to get past that.
would like Gavin be able to see if there's like, because I imagine if they're keeping some like weird culty blood stuff here, like they maybe might set something up. Like, can he like kind of see if there's anything around? Because like that's really all I can think of, like that like he would be helpful with at this moment. I also have Streetwise. I don't know, that probably doesn't do anything.
It could, just depending on what you look at. So yeah, you could if you have your knowledge of like trapped, you could probably look for that. The thing is, we're kind of wondering if that would go into, that wouldn't be under like a stealth roll though. That would be like an investigation roll.
Yeah.
I mean, it had me put traps next to the stealth skill, so
Yeah, it's part of being the trapdoor. Because you set up traps, so it's like hiding your traps in your haven.
Okay.
But you've got that expertise in, like, your predator type sets up places that might trap people. So the specialty might be able to apply.
Yeah, you
across.
could. That makes sense. I could say that you could apply that specialty to the investigation roll, so you could add another die to the roll. That makes sense.
okay. Okay.
Um,
Go ahead.
Oh, I do want to go look at the chalices. And I have a lot of occult skill. Um,
Okay. Well, let's. Okay, so you're gonna do that.
mhm.
Gavin's gonna look for traps. And
What am I rolling again for that?
I'd say intelligence plus investigation plus one more
+1.
die for your specialization in traps.
Intelligence plus investigation. Why can I not find? Wait. I'm trying to find. Oh, there we go. Great. I have no dots in investigation. That's awesome. And then one dice for traps. And
Yeah.
then okay.
Do you actually do you have any dots? How about this? Do you have any dots in occult?
I do not.
Okay, just checking.
Alright, I can. Alright, Onyx, you gonna help me? And Cat is helping. 2 successes.
Okay. At 2 successes, you do get a vibe that somebody dumped something. Like the floor in here is carpeted, right? Really some
Okay.
nice ugly 80s carpeting when they just carpeted everything for no good reason. And this terrible place is no exception. Somebody has dumped something liquid on the floor. And it kind of like you're not sure what it is that they dumped there, but you kind of get the vibe that maybe that's meaningful. That like, you know, you kind of think of like, you know, sometimes like I've like, you know, like dump some powder on the ground or dump like something wet on the ground so I could see footprints if somebody went by. Like, maybe that's what they're doing here.
Hmm. Am I able to just like from smelling it, like get any sense of like what it is?
Do you put your nose right down there by it?
Why not? Sure.
I mean, it sounds unusual, but it's actually not that unusual for y'all. Yeah, if you kind of go down to where this kind of wet spot on the carpet is, you smell blood.
Hmm. Hey, can one of you that can do the like senses with the big senses thing come here and help me over here? You know, can you figure out there's blood here on the floor, but I don't have that like fancy I can tell what kind of blood it is. Can one of you that can do that help me out?
Charlotte, lick the floor.
Yeah, you're asking me to lick the floor.
Go lick the floor.
Yeah, is that whatever that Banu whatever thing that you do?
You know, too much floor
Fun.
licking might make me a little peckish. Just a forewarned. Okay.
Do you
Is it wet?
All right then. Huh?
are you gonna lick the floor or do you want to look at the chalices first?
I want to look at the chalices first.
Okay.
That floor's gonna have to wait. I might lick a glass before I lick the floor, if you don't mind.
I mean, it's not going anywhere, so I'm cool.
How are you investigating the chalices? Are you just licking them?
No, I'm smelling them first.
Okay.
Like looking at them and if there's something that might look familiar, if I've researched it before or read it in an occult book, like looking for something that looks familiar and also smelling.
Okay.
Like heightened senses still.
I'll make this I'll make this one easy then. If you are just smelling the chalices, one of them, which actually kind of looks like a fairly plain pewter chalice.
Mm-hmm.
It smells like ash, like burning.
Ooh. I can make a little fake sneeze as if I'm, kind of instinct. Well, this is ash. I mean, I don't know what kind of ash, but ash. All right, so that's one chalice, and that's the boring one. Not boring, the pewter.
Yeah, the other ones don't really sing anything to you.
Okay. I want to use some maybe not research, but so I have academics and I have occult in my skills. And if it's been burned, there's not really going to be any blood left to taste or sense. I'm taking it.
No, but there's ash.
But
May I
there's
offer a
ash.
suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
Given that Charlotte has killed vampires before, she might be familiar with what the ash of vampires is. Does it taste like that? She's had that in her mouth before.
Yeah.
Or the consistency of a dead vampire, or like cigarette ash, or just something was burned in there.
Yeah. I want to be really subtle. I do not want my fellow compatriots knowing that I might know what ash vampire
Yeah, so
ash
we will say,
is.
from the meta perspective, you do not want people knowing that you know what ash tastes like in your mouth.
Yeah. So I'm really subtly just going like this and going like.
Oh yeah.
So should I roll? Should I roll again for that?
I don't need you to roll for that. You know that taste. It's definitely what you
Okay.
think it is. It is kindred ash.
Okay. How to explain this? So
Just ask a question because I don't know if you got the answer for it earlier. When you tasted the blood on the knife, you got that it was kindred. Did you get how old? Like you got the blood potency. Was it a very old vampire, like a strong one, or was it like a brand new baby one?
It also determines relative blood potency.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
not a that's right. So it was not a it was like probably Ancilla level.
So a 2 or 3.
okay. What about the ash? Would I be able to know?
From the ash, no.
The taste for blood only covers blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ash is more the lived experience of having ash in your mouth.
Yeah, that was sort of why we
Yeah.
didn't roll for the ash. It was just sort of like this was like I know this taste.
Yeah. So I kind of pocket the chalice and
How do you pocket a chalice?
so
Up in your pocket?
in my little satchel.
Okay.
Dump it in my satchel.
In the same bag that she stole the drugs with.
Yeah.
Yeah. With my drugs and my lollipop knife. So I think Emily Davenport, is that her name?
Yes.
She's got some things here that have remnants of kindred. There's the knife. I suspect that this this residue on this glass is could possibly be the remnants of a kindred. Yeah.
You can't fit a body in a cup. So that's a choice.
No, but you invite to ashes eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm scared to look at these bones, but I'm gonna look at these bones.
Hey,
See
so
how
there's
many
a real
fangs.
easy way to tell if bones are bone or not. You lick them.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
Of course. Just put things in your mouth all day, all night.
It's just how you tell if bone is real or if it's stone, because bone will stick your tongue.
Cool. So here's the thing. Well,
Ian-
thank you for telling me that because
Ian-
I've never put bone in my mouth.
Ian
So
Ian the archaeologist has done that many times in the field.
Eden has literally never, so has literally learned something new. So guess what? Ah, because we're licking
Yeah,
jewelry.
it's bone.
Licking so many things.
Like some.
Oh, so it's actually bone and not just like
well,
manufactured?
some of them are plastic, yeah, but some of them
Okay.
are bone. It doesn't none of it seems to be human bone though.
Cool. Since the unseen is still on, so anything weird.
You're not getting vibes from the bone jewelry.
Cool.
And you're probably close enough that you're not getting vibes from the wonderful colorful rocks either. They appear to be
Fantastic.
just colorful rocks.
Cool. No fangs over here.
All right. So I guess onto the carpet.
On the floor. Is it carpet or floor?
Yeah, it's
I
in the
forget.
carpet.
Okay. Yeah. Do a lick it. I can't believe I just said that. There's more licking going on than I am comfortable with. I may be a vampire, but I'm still a gay man, and there's just too much licking happening here. But you do your thing.
All right. Just lower your gaze, Aki. It will be good. Okay.
Okay.
Everybody turn around.
We may
I'm staring my watch.
we may have to clip that because that was amazing.
Don't worry about me. I'm still a dog.
Okay. All right. So Charlotte looks at the floor for a moment.
It's this is weird. It's like blood.
Uh-huh.
It's not like the vibe you get is that it's human blood, but it's human blood that's mixed with something. Like there's other flavors in it, like carpet, but maybe something else that you can't place.
I'm feeling a little panicky now. I feel like, first of all, my cat back here has just but Charlotte feels a little panicky as well. That I mean, she put stuff in blood and drugs blood, and it's like I'm feeling a little like this could be a trap. I don't know. With the glass and the knife and the human blood on the floor that has mixed with something, and I don't feel good about this place.
I mean, yes, the place is very weird, but is it because something chemical, or is it just like two different types of blood mixed, or can you tell at all?
Yeah, can I tell? I mean, obviously, carpet.
Not from the carpet, no.
Okay.
You don't want to put it in your mouth?
I'll lick the carpet.
Just eat the carpet.
Hmm?
Or just like
What?
little fingerprint, and so you don't have to actually put your face on the floor, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe see the consistency, if there's any, or if it's dry, scrape it up. Is it dry or wet, first off? How fresh
Yeah.
is this?
It's like damp.
This is
So
fresh.
maybe-
It's moist.
It's underneath the carpet.
Oh,
All right.
I can't make us any more uncomfortable. I'm sorry. It's like I'm running out of ways to do it.
Okay. Do we have a way to cut a piece of the pull up the carpet? Or just
As you're gesturing out
Yep.
wildly with the knife in your hand.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well, I
you
don't
could
want. I
do
don't
it.
know if I want. Not this knife.
I
This
mean,
knife has.
yeah, you could.
Up the carpet stuff. Can I ask a dog just get a whiff of it just to try and see if
Yeah.
I can tell anything about what's going on?
Yes, please do.
Yeah, if you sniff it as you sniff it as a good boy, you get I would say you get the same vibes that Charlotte did, where it's like it's human blood and carpet and something else.
Not like strong, like a cleaner was used on top of it, like something that was in the blood then?
No, not like a cleaner.
Like a drug.
It's really hard to tell. Like it's just been in the carpet for Lord knows how long.
Look. If you're not gonna lick it, I am. I'm not gonna
No.
even tell what it is.
I'll lick it. And if I pass out, I'm sorry.
I got you. Put you in the tub. It's fine.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna lick the carpet. I'm going for it. What would I roll here?
Resolve blood potency.
Resolve and blood potency. Oh wait, resolve and blood potency?
Blood
No,
sorcery.
blood sorcery.
Blood sorcery. Okay. All right, so same thing as before, using my hunger. Okay, so I got 2 successes but I got a skull on my blood die.
Okay, that's still okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, as long as you, if you fail the roll, like you have no successes and there's a failure on the hunger die,
Uh-huh.
that's called a bestial failure or bestial.
Oh, okay.
I never know how to say that word, unfortunately, but
Bestial.
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 So, and then that's a whole thing.
Okay.
Like you
Alright,
have to start
yes.
acting out of compulsion, basically. But so you didn't have that though. You have 2 successes.
Okay, great.
But 2 successes is not enough,
Oh shit.
particularly in the case of what you're dealing with now. So
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
again, it's human blood.
So yeah, not enough successes. A 1 on the die. That is bestial failure. You can spend willpower to re-roll things.
Oh, I can?
Oh yeah, that is a failure.
Yeah.
That is a bestial failure.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
Did
because
3 dice.
Yeah, you can't re-roll
You
your hunger
can't
dice,
re-roll
but-
hunger.
but you can spend a willpower to re-roll the other dice to try and get another success.
okay. So if I spend a willpower, just put a little mark through it. Do I get the willpower back?
not tonight, but like
Not
basically,
tonight, yeah.
you'll be
Okay.
able to get it back like the next session.
Okay. So I'm just rolling. I'm not using hunger dice.
Yeah, you're leaving your hunger dice exactly as they are, and you're taking those. I think it was like the other. You could re-roll up to 3 of the other dice, which I think it was the only 3 dice you had.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna re-roll 3 dice. 2 successes.
And you had 1 on the hunger
You
dice,
had
so
1 on the
that's
hunger
a
dice.
total of 3. So yeah, you're good
Yeah.
then.
It's probably better.
All
than-
right.
That's probably better than a compulsion, which I don't know what we would even. We could have you start devouring the carpet. Oh
I
my
just
God.
don't want to let anybody know that I like the taste of the vampires.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, the Bono compulsion can be brutal too, because it's usually the default one is judgment. You start just wanting to like go punish wrongdoers and go vigilante on people.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
Fun.
Actually,
fun,
that could be very ugly in this particular case.
Oh,
yeah.
gosh.
I would think.
Oh, no.
Okay, so what? Let me double check. Because I know what this is, but you don't.
Obviously.
So I want to make sure I know what the power.
But you know what things are in your game?
Yeah.
You are a more prepared
Amazing.
storyteller than I am.
Like, what's behind this door? We're gonna find out together.
Yep.
Yeah, so human blood,
Hmm.
it's the human blood of sort of a very determined person.
Okay.
And I'll give just a bonus since we're being magical here. Since you decided, you get a vision suddenly of like someone looking at you from a dark room, just like a glimpse of it for just a second.
Uh-huh.
And I would say it feels like someone spotted you.
Okay. I think we're being watched.
Can I do the obfuscate thing?
Which obfuscate thing?
Well, I have Cloak of Shadows and Unseen Passage, but I'm probably going to assume that Unseen Passage is better because I think, does that let me move around? Yeah, so Unseen Passage lets me move around while staying hidden, so I would like to essentially go invisible in case somebody is watching us.
Yeah, so you will essentially
Check.
go invisible.
Yeah,
So I don't think you can do it in front of people.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
kind
you-
of duck behind the
you would
counter
just
and then
have
just
to- you
don't
would
come
have
back.
to-
Yeah. Do you want me to do a check on that?
I don't think it's necessary right now.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I
It'll
duck
become
behind
necessary if
and-
somebody like tries to spot you. But I
Spot
think
me.
narratively right now it's just like, yeah, that your friends are just like, where
So-
Gavin go?
Coincidentally, Eden's response was to look for whoever's hidden because sense the unseen.
But
also
it is a
can
rouse
pierce
check.
obfuscate.
It is a rouse check.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Rouse check.
Yeah.
I'ma do the rouse check thing. Success.
Okay.
Sorry, I got confused if it was a 9 or a 6 for a second, but it is a 6, which means it's a
That is a
success.
Okay, so you remain Hunger 1. And so you, for all intents and purposes, are unseen. As long as you don't, like, knock something over or scream or do anything. You can move around freely, but yeah, you just basically can't call attention to yourself and you are invisible.
Right. Sweet.
So that might be violated by sense the unseen, which is the main purpose of it is to break obfuscate, as well as detect unseen things. And as I said, while Gavin goes to hide, Eden's first response is to look, to specifically see who's hiding.
Yeah, I mean, just break it for you, which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not hiding from Eden.
Yeah, so it would break it for you, and unless you go, hey,
Sure.
I don't know if it does it break it for just one person.
Yeah, it's just you notice the person that everyone else is overlooking. Because they're not invisible. That's why it doesn't work on like cameras. They've essentially put a cloak on it so that we don't see them. We overlook them. They become part of the
Gotcha.
scenery.
Yeah, it just says the user is functionally invisible per the usual obfuscate limitations, which I do not know by heart, unfortunately.
Cameras and recordings still catch you unless you have Ghost in the Machine, which lets you ignore them too.
Okay. Yes, that part I knew.
Yeah, that's the normal limitations. Is that it just works on people because it's a mental power. You're just like, don't look at
Okay.
me.
Can't see me.
Ian, would you
Alright.
like me to roll?
So yeah, if you want to roll, so that would be Gavin is going to roll with plus obfuscate, and your resolve plus obfuscate.
Wits
Well, I'm not specifically
plus
looking for Gavin more than
obfuscate.
everyone else, but
Wits plus obfuscate. 3,
Two successes.
Three successes.
Okay. So
Cool. Don't see you.
don't
See
see-
anyone else?
you don't see anyone else in the room.
Okay.
So you were just kind of using that to take a peek to see if anybody, like when somebody says, "I think we're being watched," you were just
You just
Okay.
scan immediate.
All right.
Like,
no, you don't. You don't see anybody.
I don't see anyone. Watch from where, how, what details. Charlotte. Details.
Say that again.
Watching from where, who, what, more.
I just got this vision that somebody was watching us, me. It could be me, it could be us.
From above, from below, from an angle, from.
I think it was like from straight ahead, like. Or did you say, Ian?
Just from somewhere. Like, you don't feel like they're maybe in the same building even. It was just
Oh.
like maybe somewhere.
So there's somewhere. But they're watching, which makes me wonder if they're watching because all that shit I licked?
Because there's a bunch of not completely normal items in here that they might be looking over. And we're here in their place.
Could be.
You lick their carpet.
Just kind of waves
Now you can't get rid of them.
randomly.
Nothing happens when you wave around.
Hi, whoever's watching. Anyway,
What if we cut up the carpet?
that'd be vandalism.
Well, we can replace it or I don't know, send them a coupon for nicer carpet.
So this is going to be an extremely strange robbery when we're taking specifically supernaturally touched items and then ripping up the carpet that had blood on it. So we can't. There's no way to make this look natural at this point if you rip out the carpet as well. I was going to take some stuff to make it look like an actual robbery, but that's kind of very specific thing to do. I mean, you could do it, but
okay, yeah, let's take some stuff, but let's leave a little money just so we're not, you know.
The register. I'm sure register should already be empty because that's policy, but I don't know how they run this place.
Are you now all trying to just rob the place and peace out?
Yeah.
Trying to make it look like a more natural robbery rather than specifically the thing that had ashes in it, specifically the thing that had blood on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just take some stuff.
Yeah.
Is there...
I take like a shirt or like a t-shirt and a scarf. I take some little evil eyes and some crystals.
Okay. Like a bunch of teenagers just came in and just
anything shiny looking, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We act like crows and steal the shiny things and the supernatural things and get the hell out of here.
Yeah. I take a few books because I can't resist the books.
Well, yeah, there were some that were actually old, so.
Yeah.
Do you take the old books?
Oh yeah. Since you ask it that way, yes.
I mean, like that's what I'm like. So, do you want to take any particular books? You just want to take all the old books?
The ones that look the oldest that don't look like shitty books. If there's one that has a title, if they're in French or Arabic, I definitely take them. Yeah.
There's not one in French or Arabic, but there is one. There are several in Latin.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think you could recognize it as Latin, but I don't know if you read
Yeah.
Latin. I don't know if any of you read Latin.
No, I didn't take Latin.
Okay. So, yeah, there's like 2 books that look like they're in Latin on the spines, and those are the
Okay.
oldest and the most expensive.
Yeah, I take those, and then I take like kitchen witch magic for teens, and you know, some tawdry book about like magical fairies and stuff, and something else random.
Yeah, you gotta get your good copy of Worshipping Satan for Dummies.
Just
Yes.
7 tarot decks
Yes,
for no
7
reason.
The
All of the incests.
get the
Yeah.
the officially licensed Nintendo Pokemon Tarot deck.
Yes.
So okay. And is that all you want to do? And then you
Those 2 items were the only ones that gave
Vibes.
gave the vibes, right?
I think you were kind of pointing it in specific directions, and those were the different directions you put. You could still look. I would say I said the rocks. I think I'm looking back
said-
over. You didn't look at the
You said no to the rocks. You said no to the jewelry, the bone stuff. There's the book, which I assume there's Woog there, given all the like implications of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the knives and the chalices. That's 5 places.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think the only other thing I
Clothes.
think that you may not have looked at was there was like kind of a pile of like steampunky looking garbage.
Yeah.
Right.
Steampunky garbage, as well as the goth clothes, because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And a
so
magic T-shirt.
Um so again, just kind of to save time, the steampunky stuff you would find like there's over there is what looks to be a weird old compass. It's like
I'll take that.
one of those compasses that look like it's supposed to have maybe liquid in it, but there's no liquid in it.
Ooh.
But there is a spot that looks like it's supposed to have liquid, like where you could put a liquid into it.
Like blood.
Like blood.
Mm.
Compass.
I mean, you could probably put blood in there. You could put Gatorade in there too, or Coca-Cola if you wanted to. I don't know.
You should just straight save time. Should just straight pockets that and just next thing.
And you said, are there like weird cultish robes in the clothing section?
I mean, yes, but they're clearly polyester.
Ew.
No accounting for good taste.
I mean,
with
no.
these occultists.
Like,
Healthy.
really bad quality Halloween costumes, or very old like choir robes from a church that someone has brought in.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll grab
So someone has taken, the thing that says like Tylersville Methodist and just like posted like a pentagram over it or something.
yeah. I'll take something like that, and then like the Metallica t-shirt. Yeah, definitely take the Metallica t-shirt.
Okay. And so all right. And then I assume that you get the hell out of there.
Yes.
Okay. So you get back to your vehicle, and I think as you kind of get back to the cars and drive away, you probably see, as you're coming down the road, you do see a cop car coming up the road, but it doesn't stop you. It's just going up towards the antique mall, but he doesn't have his lights on or anything, so maybe just
Speed
maybe
limit,
you
just cruise.
Oh yeah, no.
You got out
Standard
there in
obviously
time.
has old hat at doing this, so obeying the traffic laws, all that stuff.
So, just an FYI, because Gavin was invisible, I'm gonna say that he did not follow them out of the antique store, and he is still inside the antique store because he didn't
Oh.
unobfuscate, so he's still in there.
Oh, no.
Uh, we
'Cause he
wouldn't
was,
have
like,
left
behind.
with. Yeah, we wouldn't have left without. We wouldn't leave you behind.
Unless you specifically say,
Like-
"Hey, leave me behind."
Yeah.
It's literally one of our conical tenets to not leave our allies
Oh,
behind.
yeah.
Yeah.
We just
That's
wouldn't.
true. But
But
would
if
you
you-
have called out?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
would I have to
Yeah, we'd be like, hey,
unobfuscate?
Gavin, let's go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, never mind then.
But I mean, if you wanted to, like,
Just stay behind.
stay behind.
You can. It's just you have to let us know, otherwise we're just abandoning you.
Okay, yeah, so can we retcon and say that Gavin said that he is gonna stay behind a little bit longer, obfuscated?
Sure, just have fun.
Just gonna make
Just
your
be
way back
careful.
to the hotel on your own then.
Wouldn't be the first time I've
Okay.
traveled by foot. I'm
Okay.
good, don't worry.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, you can page me if you need. And then we'll use Eden's phone and call you.
Or the phone in the bar.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Well, do
yeah,
we know that
I'll
number?
figure it out.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, here's my pager number.
Okay,
Sure.
so we would,
Oh.
if that's what happens, probably not too long after everyone leaves, Gavin, you would be able to see a flashlight come in to the antique mall, and eventually a what looks to be a small town cop come into the store, shining a flashlight around. So, what the hell? He kind of gets on his radio. He's like, "Oh, this looks like some kind of damn break-in at the antique mall." I guess I'm What do you mean, what store? Alright then. You sure? Alright. What in the hell? And then he, walks away.
Does he walk away as in he leaves the antique mall or goes to a different?
He leaves the antique mall.
Okay. Are there any signs of anybody else coming in or anybody that may be in there that we didn't realize before or anything like that?
Not that you could tell.
Okay. Gavin is going to leave then.
Okay. All right. So I assume Gavin is then making his way back to the hotel?
Yes.
Okay.
Or his RV, at least, which is near the hotel.
Okay. So maybe as everyone's kind of making their way back to the hotel, that's a good spot to take just a short break. And I think after that, probably we're at the point where we can come back and kind of probably wrap things up. There was a lot more carpet licking than I thought would be. But
I'm not licking in general.
yeah,
It's a lot, very mouth oriented.
yeah, we were putting a lot of the plot into our mouths in this one. So
Yeah.
but
Quick question:
Yeah.
how many nights have we been here at the hotel?
one,
Just one.
just one.
That's something I should keep track of.
So I am going to send us on a break really quick, and then we will be right back in about 5 minutes. So,
All
see
right.
y'all in a few.
Bye.
And we are back. Okay, so I think at this point, probably everyone went back to the hotel, correct? Or the Pounties.
Yeah, I figure we were
Yes.
back at Pouncey's.
Yeah,
And then I assume eventually Gavin makes it there
he does.
sometime later. Did Gavin like hitchhike there, or
It depends how long of a walk would you say it is?
well, it was like a 20-minute drive, so it'd take a while.
Probably want to hitchhike.
Yeah, so maybe it would
Yeah, so he
be a good
probably
idea to hitchhike a little
hitchhiked.
bit.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, you probably met some interesting folks, but it's not hard to get a ride to Pouncey's because it's like basically it's all along the highway, so it's easy to get somebody going
Right.
through town on the way somewhere else that is not Tylersville. So, yeah, you all kind of meet back up, and with a series of now items that you have stolen from a goth store.
Eden is just going through all the stuff that Charlotte stole.
Good stuff. I mean, perhaps we shouldn't decorate the place with this, but
No,
I mean,
absolutely not. Why the rocks?
why not?
They're rocks. So you use them for something, or just gonna just put them up?
I'm sure I can find a use for them. I'm still studying and learning more and more about blood magic, and they may come in useful someday. And
Fair enough.
also, I mean, they're good to think about philosophically.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you got a long time to think.
Oh, right. Compass.
Right. Yeah.
One of the weird things, it's looks like you should be able to fill it up with something, but it's not filled right now. So that's cool. It's weird. You can have that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lick it just yet.
Yeah, don't there's nothing to lick.
Always something to lick apparently tonight, at least. Um, yes. Well, we can do that. Gavin, did you find out anything when you hung back?
No, just a cop came in, small town cop, radioed, I assume another cop said there was like a break-in. That was about it. They mentioned the name of the store, and I think one of them was like, "Oh, really?" So, uh, I don't know. I don't know if they were surprised that that particular store got raided, but he didn't really seem to look around or anything like that, and he just kind of left.
Like, did you call for someone else to investigate or just left?
So he did he called somebody and he said that there was a break-in. Um they asked him, I could hear the radio. They asked him like what the store was. I heard him tell him the name of it. Other guy was like, "Oh, really?" And then the cop left. So I don't know if that meant the other guy was coming or if they just didn't give a fuck. I didn't stick around to see if anyone showed up.
Hmm.
Maybe they just so he did he seem to notice that the store had been at least broken
he
into?
definitely knew there was like a break-in, but he wasn't like, "Oh, like look at this carpet is all cut up and this specific thing is gone." But it almost sounded like he thought it was maybe some like teenagers or something.
So cops don't leave the scene of a crime.
Yeah.
They call someone
It
else
was
to come, they're gonna stay there. So if you just left and there was no one there when you left,
Mm,
that's a whole nother issue.
was he a cop or
that is
was he something else? Maybe just like a security guard.
Or he just
I
got
mean,
told to just leave it alone.
Yeah.
he looked like a townie cop to me.
And we already know the cops are on the take for somebody, so
Mhm.
could be that this is a place they're not supposed to investigate too much.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, it's full of, magical items and there's blood stain on the floor that's wet. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just told, don't investigate there. Fantastic.
Hmm.
That's cool.
Well, I'm still a little worried that perhaps we have been bugged. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
Oh no,
You know,
pretty
I
valid.
definitely, and I am wondering like why. I don't know. It was just something about the way like the cop or whatever he was just kind of like, oh, like that store. I don't know. I couldn't really get a good tone on it. I don't know if it was, like, oh, I'm surprised that they would pick that place or like something more. But it just, I don't know. It seemed like there was something more than this. Like this isn't just a regular break-in. There's something about this store. Like picking up what I'm putting down.
I mean, yeah, given he was
yeah.
told,
Yep.
given he just like walked out and left,
Yeah,
that means
no,
absolutely he
absolutely.
was not supposed to be in that store. He got told, oh, you're there? Okay, leave. Okay, left.
Yeah.
Huh.
Somebody has paid him not to look into what happens there, which means there's probably other things going on there.
Mhm. And now
That
we
cop.
have their stuff.
Hmm.
And now we have their stuff.
We do
Yeah.
have their stuff.
You have a
And
You know-
name.
watched.
Emily Davenport.
Yeah, in Pouncey's, is there like a phone book or anything that might have that name anywhere? I don't think it's going to, because it doesn't seem like something that would be up to date, even if it was, and the Google search didn't help. But like, you know,
There is a phone book, yeah, but it does not have Emily Davenport's name in it.
Is there a way to lick the knife again and get any more information?
No, you
Maybe I don't want.
pretty much got the information that you're gonna get from it.
All right. All right. I feel unsettled by that vision of being
It was
watched.
unsettling.
I don't like being watched. I like to. Gosh, I'm not
Watch
sure.
people.
was
I
it
like
like
the
someone was
watcher.
watching us, or was it like the person you were tasting was being watched and you're catching some of their emotions?
No, they were watching us. That's how I'm interpreting it. Or me.
Well, I mean, we were messing with something, so
Can you like Uno reverse a blood scrying? Like if you were licking their blood and they were like, "Oh, I know you're licking my blood now." It's like, is that a thing?
How would I know?
Because you're the witch. Like I assume
Oh.
you know the stuff.
Yeah, because that reason.
you are supposed to be the expert here.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Well, I mean, so I'm not entirely clear about this. So I'm also asking the GM. Would I be able to like have sort of like a reverse communication? Or
Give me an intelligence plus occult.
okay.
Do you have a specialty
Right.
in occult?
I have a specialty in occult. Yes, I do. And guess what?
Blood
It's
sorcery?
blood magic.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go.
Tell
All right. So sorcery. Wait, what would you say?
Intelligence plus occult.
Intelligent. All right. So that's 3 and 4. Do I get an extra for the blood magic?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the specialty. We'll give you an extra die. And remember, you're at 2
Awesome.
hunger.
Okay.
8 dice,
So
2
that's
hunger.
8. 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh God, that sucked. So I got 2 successes, and I got the little skull dude. So there we are. Hi. Yeah.
Okay. Well. Oh, wait, what's there? I thought I saw success on the hunger.
Yes, 1 success on the hunger, and then the skull on the hunger too.
Yeah, but were
On the
there
other
how
one.
many successes total?
2.
Okay. Yeah, at 2 successes, you've heard of scrying. That's something, that you think the Tremere do all the time. Una reversi scrying is not something you've heard of.
Okay.
But what if that was like a ward you licked?
Oh, warding, like as a protection.
Yeah,
all right.
so like it maybe not like a good ward, but maybe just like a ward that like lets somebody know if somebody was in there.
Oh. Okay.
I got trapped. You tripped an alarm.
But
Like I tripped.
But like you've seen it done much better. Like usually if somebody's making a ward, like you've seen your kind and you've seen Tremere do wards where if they don't want you in, you cannot physically enter.
Right.
This is something a little different. Maybe they didn't know what they were doing.
Oh, all right. So
maybe that's maybe.
So it's like a hack job, kind of like an amateur, or an amateur, either a desperate attempt.
Yeah, with the pieces that you have, it does feel amateur. Dumping blood on the carpet is a little weird. Who would do that? Sloppy.
Half-bloods? Kids trying to be cool?
Yeah, but they're not. You said they've been able to do something with it. So even if they're not good at it, they still have some ability. So it's not just people messing around with, what they found in their Wiccan for Dummy book. So, this is people. This isn't a bunch of kids who watch The Craft and are doing that. It's someone who has some ability, and also has access to vitae and a vampire of kindred of some sort.
And it's in the middle of a store.
Yeah.
Attractive store. So it's crude, but it works. And apparently that's all that matters to them, to just make a puddle on the floor rather than an actual like ward situation. So
yeah, it's less of like, because I've run into wards before. I don't know how they work, but I've run into them. They're more like an electric fence around a place. This seemed more like one of those little like when you go through a door and it does the ding.
Yeah.
It's like that, more so than to keep anyone out. It's just to let them know. So it could be all they could manage. But if it's someone messing around with stuff,
well, or it's someone pretending to be a hack. I mean, I don't know.
So I'm going to, at some point, go visit the police and see if anyone knows the name of Emily Davenport, or talk around town, see if anyone knows Emily Davenport. Can you talk to any drug dealers or whatever?
Yeah, we might
Not really
also
about Emily
Yeah.
Davenport because I don't think she's involved in drugs. We haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
But like,
we might reach out to Cliff too. I mean,
yeah.
he's our only contact with the our side of the fence type stuff. So
But also, he
If you-
insisted that he's the only one in the city.
yeah,
So
which is like, I know from all the things I've been told by those in power, the with the Moonborn, those guys running around do weird stuff with blood too. So I don't know much about what they do, but it's got people up the chain all messed up about it. So
Do we actually believe him when he says he's the only one?
smallish
was-
town.
given the evidence of kindred ash and kindred blood, he could be the only one if everyone else is dead, or he's the only one that he's aware of because he's the only person. And even if you're a Nosferatu, that doesn't automatically mean you know everything.
That's true.
So yeah, someone can talk to him. And earlier we talked about making connections with the drug people and the criminal element here. That'd be good to know because there's a lot of that going on. And the police are corrupt. So I'm at see why they're being avoidant about that. And anyone else has anything they want to do?
I'm
Game
gonna
plan.
I'm gonna contact my my I don't know what to call them. My business contacts.
Are they drug related?
Yeah.
To drug dealers.
Yeah,
Good
see
plug.
if
I don't
see
know.
if they know anyone in the area they can put
Merchants.
you in touch with.
Yes.
Merchants.
Pharmaceutical merchants.
Okay.
The lady that runs the front desk at the hotel, she's like an old lady, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Before he calls it a night for the night, he definitely wants to just see if she randomly knows the name of. It's a lady doctor in a small town. Because we got doctor, right? We found the name.
That's yes.
It was Dr. Emily Davenport, and I don't know, old lady in a small southern town seems like a good source of gossip to at least go, hey, what is this? Did you know this name?
Okay. Well, you go in there and she's doing as she always does. She's watching her little TV. It's like, oh, hello, y'all. Like, how can I help you? Any more towels or?
No, I think we're good. We got a name. Someone called and they left a message. But I don't know who they are. They just left a name for us to try and get in touch with them. We were supposed to meet them out here for something. Dr. Davenport? Does the name ring a bell?
I've been to lots of doctors. I don't think there's any Dr. Davenport in town.
Maybe I heard it wrong. I don't know. I'm sure they'll try and get back in touch with us then.
Are they it's not one of those government scientists or something, is it? Or like a dentist?
No, the phone number called back just rang to the answering machine at the antique mall.
Oh. Huh. I don't know why a doctor be working at the antique mall.
Yeah, we'll just go back when they're open, I guess, and see if we can figure it out. I thought you might know.
Well, happy to help, I suppose.
Oh, no, thank you.
Why don't we ask Cliff?
We can definitely try and get a hold of him. So
Well, I wanted to make it like I wanted us all to have the game plan, so we're all going to be doing something. So there's calling Cliff, there's contacting people that we know, there's finding who Miss Davenport is, there's figuring out what's up with the police. Who wants to do what? So we all do
All right. I'm not talking to the cops.
Yeah, I
Actually, you know what? No,
volunteer.
I will. I will. I will talk to the cops.
Okay, which one? Is it good for you to talk to the
Which
cops? Is it bad for you to talk to the cops?
No, I mean I'm not a fan of them, but I think I think out of all of us, me or you, Eden, would be the best at that.
Yeah, I already
But I
volunteered, but if
also
you want to do it, you can.
Well, I don't have a phone, so anything that requires like calling somebody, like calling Cliff, like I can't do.
there's
I
the
mean,
phone in Pouncey's. We've got
You could just
the phone there.
Yeah, you just
that's
make set up a
true.
meeting, then you show up.
All right, yeah, I'll call Cliff because Eden,
Okay.
you did say you wanted to talk to the cops, so I'll call Cliff.
Fantastic. Charlotte's
I
got
will.
all contacts, the pharmaceutical specialists,
Yes.
and
The
standard.
vendors. Yes.
What do you want to do?
Don't rightly know. Don't really have a much with contact stuff, so just can guess hang out with Gavin here and see if Cliff shows up and we'll deal with that.
Sure. In case, Cliff decides
We're
to
not
just
we're
start
not
checking people.
yeah, we're not completely sure. He said he wasn't a fighter, but it's
Also
also
said,
something you say if you don't want people to expect you to be able to fight. So
Also said wasn't the only one in town. Well, said he was the only one in town.
yeah,
He isn't. So y'all prepare
And
for that.
we should be careful out there because I really do think that cup had ash in it of us.
Speaking of, do you want to keep the blood tainted items in our location, or do you want to hide them somewhere else in case someone comes look for them?
I would like to keep this knife.
I mean, you can keep it. I mean, but where are you going to store it?
Is there a safe in the office?
It's a magic item. There's magic on it. And you've already been like pinged, scried. I don't know how magic works exactly, but I feel like having them in a location that we want to keep safe is a bad idea. So you might want to like put it in a hole somewhere.
I will consult my books and figure out the proper way to store it, and then perhaps I'd like to neutralize it or cleanse it, remove whatever taint is on the wards.
Pick a hole and just put it in the hole.
I think the hole would be good. I'm gonna put it in a hole.
Mm.
However, I do believe putting it in a hole, making sure that it is near a river that is running away from our location will be better.
Sure. Just the slight paranoia of maybe just don't keep bombs inside the place we care about.
True. I'm gonna keep those books though. Just I want to read them. Maybe where to put them? I might bury them too. But they would be really good reading.
Yeah, I mean, read them, and then when you're done with them, you put them away.
Okay. Good idea. All right.
Cool. Game plan.
So I think that you all have a game plan for next time.
We do.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
So I
Heck
think
yeah.
that's probably a good time to, and actually probably at this point it's not that far from dawn. So um, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight, and yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll see if Cliff lied about everything, maybe, or why this kitschy shop has kindred blood in it, or there's actually probably a lot more going on in this town, as is often the case with many small towns. But again,
Yes.
thank you all for coming, and yeah, we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.